Welcome back, my friends, to Let Us Explore Inside. What are we inside? Well, right now we are inside a farm. A farm where I have helped some lovely little chicks, little yellow creatures of innocence. I helped them and they helped me, and now our friendship is sacred. They now sit safely in a barn out of the rain while I remain in the rain, controlling a strange young boy who we do not know. We don't know why he exists, what his purpose is, and why is he hunted so horribly by men with masks who cap people off wholesale. A mystery I seek to uncover, but for now let us continue our journey. It seems right now that we have to jump. Perhaps we use the corpses of pigs as a landing pad. It's very unpleasant, I know. However, I suspect there is very little in this world that remains pleasant. So, unfortunately, we have to go, well, one in Rome. There we go. I know it's a horrible experience, just don't think about it. We'll continue to run, but then again it looks like my time with pigs is not yet over. Pull the cart to the wall. We must use these corpses as a platform. But at least one thing we don't have to worry about right now is as long as we're here, it seems like the men with masks are no longer around. This farm as well seems strangely abandoned. However, that could be something foreboding. I also see a light in the distance. Not sure if it's sunlight or a light I would wish to avoid. We'll find out soon enough while I have to struggle through this bog. Now, do I go over the wall or under it? I think over would be the smarter solution. Even if a wall, yes, it threatens a tip. Still more dead pigs remain. And hang on, there is something sticking out of that pig. Is that a worm? What is a worm doing in the... More worms. Are these just worms feasting on corpses? Or is there something more to these worms? I suspect they are just mere earthworms. They always seem to appear when it... No! These earthworms have something worse about them! Brainworms, I suspect. I've seen your type before. I've seen you when I journeyed through the limbo. You can charge me with this door and assist me in my journey. I know I have to use you for my own intents. There are also people here who do not seem quite happy. Just avoid the pig, keep jumping over him. We shall ride him if it's necessary. For now... Okay, he seems quiet. However, it seems things do not stay dead. What is this strange worm? I've released it from the pig. Are you okay, my pork-like friend? He's okay. He cannot panic anymore. That worm possessed the poor animal there. I've seen its kind before. But why are these people so sad? Why do they not even notice me? I do not know. But the brainworm is a species that is most horrible. Now, fair pig, I know you hate to be pulled against your will. I know you are weak, your life is most likely near an end by now. But if there's one last favour you can do, just stand here while I make my way out of this place. Hang on, people move when on the light. This machine... Oh dear, I killed a man. It's okay. This strange device seems to control the people. I jump in and I run, and they run as well. I run back and they run back. What is this device? A solution to control the minds of others? Perhaps if I make them pull or push. No, it does not seem to do anything. Perhaps if you were to grab this door here, my friends, pull it. Aha! Keep pulling it. Keep pulling it. No. Right, you lot, you as well. There we go. All men pull. You've opened the door. Now, if you were to all go here, I have solved your logic puzzle. Now, push that or pull it instead. Pull. Get out of the way, my men. Right. These are strange men. I don't like what is going on. At least I can detach myself, but these men, they live without purpose. I can control their minds through the use of these. Perhaps that is why I'm hunted. Perhaps it is an ability. Perhaps my mind is designed to control those of others by using these interfaces. Still a very cruel world, and I suspect the men in masks, it is something they use. What a cruel and twisted device. It literally steals the free will and the agency of others. But we shall see it. At least day is up at least, and the world looks nicer. Let us leave this terrible farm though, this place of horrors. Perhaps the brainworms were used to create those menacing machines. There's many more people. This is a strange factory as well, if it is. The feel is definitely industrial. It's tall, foreboding, scaffolding aplenty. Seems we've also caught up with a truck where people were lined up wholesale. And now they go in there. Perhaps they are drones. That would make sense, I believe. Yes. They are the drones, and someone is a controller. I think I might be getting closer to solving this mystery. Now, if I could manipulate this car and bring it to the chain, perhaps now I can make things move my way. While I press control... Ah, there we go. Unfortunately, this narrator pressed the wrong control. He likes pressing the left one rather than the right one. But now that isn't right. The chain manipulates according to this. Right, there must be a way to strike the right balance, but I also see a big red button, which I think might provide a solution. Press the button, and we'll see what happens. Perhaps it will do something or other, but it seems I cannot press it. Even by throwing my corpse at it, my horrible red body has little to no effect. Right. Perhaps if we were to pull this, we can strike the right balance. Perhaps it will work. Looks like another puzzle has been found that I cannot solve yet. There'll be a way to solve it, I know. All I need to do is think. Thinking is something I can do, it is something I'm most capable of. If only we could climb this rope here, but the button... I know the button could be pressed, but... Why can I not press it now? What is preventing me from pressing it? Why do I always exist on the wrong plane of existence? Why am I always slightly to the left, slightly to the right? This optical trickery is quite an annoyance, but then again, perhaps I could just jump onto the... Oh, I can just jump onto the rope. Seems I was overthinking this puzzle. Somewhat embarrassing, I believe, but at least I am up here now, where I am safe. But then again, safety is probably something that won't last for very long. Detach, and let us continue. At least we found a way into this factory unseen, but there will be other things for us to discover. Is there anything we can grab? Or perhaps through the window. Grab the window, and we shall open it. But instead of looking, we shall just be about... Oh, more chicks! More chicks are here. Oh, they fly away. These ones are not friendly. Well, they are friendly, I assume. They're just not very interested in socialising with me. I see that thing up there, by the way. We're probably going to have to bring it down. This factory is nice, quiet and abandoned at least. We'll find a way around. Up this ladder, up the ladder we go. I saw a button as well, but if we climb up here, perhaps we can have a view. There seems to be very little of interest around here. Let's just continue to explore our way around. If we pull this lever, I suspect... Yeah, there we go. We can pull this up and down. If we pull this up, pull it down... If I can manipulate this to the correct level... I should be able to use it as a bridge. I think I've pulled it to the correct level there. Nearly fell through the wood as well. We should be careful in this area. No, I've pulled it too high. Right, pull it one lower. Pull it one lower. There we go. Right, perhaps now it's at the correct level. Avoid the gap, by the way. Do not fall. That would be a disaster. It would also make me quite frustrated at you. Do not make me frustrated. I have been frustrated at children before in these games. When they decide to scupper my plans with their lack of athleticism. Even if they're only kids, and we should not expect much more, but at the same time, I feel like I should. However, this is not working. This is not working at all. Pull the lever one more time. How low can I make this go? I can make this go down to here. Perhaps this is a correct level, but then again, now I can just climb on it anyway. There's got to be a way to manipulate the lever in another way. Perhaps I was to pull this... What happens if I pull this up all the way? I assume it would just rise. Yes, it just rises. I do not understand this puzzle just yet, however there will probably be a solution which will present itself when I discover it. What if I was to jump from here? Would it result in death? Yes, it would. falling through the trees, well actually we didn't fall through trees, we just fell. So we cannot go that way. Perhaps, if we rotated the wood. While my ability to rotate is limited, now we could make this more desirable. Just by grabbing our items, we can make our life easier. So now if I was to go up to this level, now this puzzle has an extra dimension. Perhaps this 2.5 dimensional gameplay is quite a good thing after all. There we go, the puzzle is solved! Now I'm happy. Happy with my progress. Now, those birds best not be in the way. They just tweet there, they just stand there. I shall not crush them, though I think I have died. When pushing a safe where off a precarious ledge, perhaps make sure you are ready to escape. Just push it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, my child. Right, now run before we collapse. Now we shall explore what the safe has uncovered. Just be careful not to fall from high positions, for it would break your legs and end our adventure again. But no, there's something in that hole, I believe. Perhaps another way to manipulate others, or perhaps we could discover the story behind this technology. Though I suspect, just like in Limbo, the story will remain vague. There'll be very little to learn, but perhaps something will be discovered. I'll also remove the scrape folder. I see wires in here. What is in here? This is a strange device. What does this do? Whatever it is, it's no longer on, so its effect will now be dispelled. So that means I probably will not notice what it even does. Oh well. Perhaps if disabling it makes my world more normal, then I shall be in a better position. If I see a brain-controlled device in another person. Pulling this lever, by the way, raises the door, so now that man will have a path through that area. I cannot progress through here, even though this gap misleads me. Jump into the device, my child. I know you don't want to. I know it's horrible to manipulate, but manipulate you shall. And there's two people there. They pass through each other quite harmlessly. However, I do not understand the purpose of this. What am I supposed to do with you two? Perhaps if you were to grab each other? No. Oh, hang on. A pressure pad, I see. We need to activate both pressure pads. I understand this puzzle. I don't think I don't understand this puzzle. We need to manipulate the door in order to make this accurate. This is going to be a very infuriating puzzle, I suspect. Either way, I will close the door. Now I'll manipulate this guy as far in this direction as I can. Now the other one should be waiting in the door, ready to emerge. So now, you detach, open the door. Now, there should be an equal distance. One should be ready and waiting at the door, and the other one is at the wall. So now, make your way to the floor. Oh, no. Right, that didn't work after all. Perhaps if I open the door, then I can see both these men. Perhaps then my manipulation will work slightly better. There we go. Now I have them both in my sight. Now I can manipulate the distance in between them. However, they have one annoying habit I see. They insist on walking in opposite directions. If I could get them both to face the correct direction. I mean, look at how close I am. I'm so close, yet so far. Perhaps if I get you into the door and then just move you a little further in. There's a little bit of light manipulation. Even though I manipulate both bodies and distance now. So now journey inside here. Now I should be able to manipulate him. If I can get him facing the door and correct the distances, we should be okay. So come on. That should be close enough. That should work for my purposes. Now, open this door once more. Hopefully the other man, he is waiting. I see him poking through. Now, run. Please meet at the correct distance. Oh, no, they still meet at the same distance. I sense this manipulation is going to be something that is going to become a great annoyance to me. I can already detect how annoying it's going to become. They move in the opposite direction. My brain begins to strain to think of how I'm going to make these people separate their distance equally. It becomes increasingly complex when they choose to move in the opposite direction. They are messing with my perspective on reality. I mean, I get one moving into the door, and I need to just get them a little closer. Come on, a little closer. I know I can do it. Come on. Perhaps I've got the distances. The distances are correct. I have done it. Through trial and error and slamming people into walls, we have solved the puzzle after all. Now let's cross these lines before something approaches. Are we under a city or under a factory now? I'm no longer aware of our geographic position. Let us climb up here. Perhaps there will be an answer to my mystery. But then again, I don't really see any solutions nor any answers. I notice in this game that the puzzles are also few and far between. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? I do not know. We'll continue adventuring. It seems now we enter the city, and I believe this is also a good place to end our story for today. I see there are people still being matched, so perhaps we are still in the compound of the strange masked men, and next time we play this game, perhaps we shall venture further in. Perhaps we shall discover more, or perhaps more of those brain manipulation puzzles, which could soon become quite a chore. However, my name is Squawker, and I leave you now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Inside, and I'll see you on the next one.